Hi everybody, my name is Victoria, and on this channel we like to talk about life tips, college tips, people my age tips. For context, I am 19, almost 20. And today we are going to talk about eating habits in college. Now, everybody's heard of the Freshman 15. It's just something that happens because this is the first time you're on your own. You don't know how to feed yourself properly. So you probably end up indulging in a little bit too much food, and you either gain weight or, your body develops into something that you didn't want it to develop into before. It doesn't matter what that is to you, is just not desirable for you. And we're going to talk about some ways to be conscientious of that fact that you don't know how to feed yourself properly right now. The first step is accepting the fact that you don't know how to feed yourself. Now, if you've been feeding yourself prior to college and you're on the older side, or if you've just been cooking your own meals mostly for the past couple of years, this is probably not going to matter to you. This video isn't going to be helpful to you because you probably already know how to feed yourself properly because you've been doing it for so long. But for those of you who are doing it for the first time, here is a little bit of help. First of all, make sure you're not overeating. There are pretty much two ways to do this. You can calorie count, which I know for some people that is a little bit triggering to their mental health, so it might not be the best idea for you. But if you think you're mentally capable of keeping track of that sort of thing so that it's not harmful to you, it might be beneficial to you to kind of see how much calories generally you would burn in a day, and making sure that the amount that you consume is generally equal. That is how you don't gain weight. It's also how you don't lose weight. That's another thing. You need to make sure that you don't undereat either. Some people forget to eat during college, which I can completely understand because I do it all the time because I don't keep consistent meal times, which is a bad habit, by the way. Don't do it. But you need to be making sure that you're, one, not eating too much, and two, eating enough, because you need to eat to fuel your body, but you don't want to overeat because then that's when you'll start to gain weight, or you might head to a place that you don't want to go. Secondly is kind of I don't know very much about nutrition, and I am no expert, but generally speaking, if you imagined a circle, half of that circle you should be consuming vegetables, and then the other half is split again, and the other one is kind of empty carbs, stuff potato chips or fries or stuff like that. And then the other one would be protein, stuff chicken, steak, that sort of thing. Generally, that is the easiest way to track your nutrition. I have not found an easier way, and it is the way I do it, and sometimes I don't do it very well. Because that's another thing about college is, at least here at mine, we have a dining plan. So we have swipes, which are for the dining halls, and we have Falcon Dollars, which are basically just the equivalent of regular money. And at the dining halls you can get a ton of different stuff. They always have pizza. They usually have two or three different meals. They'll have two or three different platters. They'll have one set, two different proteins, two different vegetables, two different empty carbs, that kind of thing. Sometimes they have even a third option, but our Falcon Dollars pay for what we consider more fast food or easy food. You can go to our Union and you can get Steak and Shake, and you can get Panda Express, and you can get this thing called Chicken Dippity, which is, they compare it to Subway but chicken, which doesn't really make sense. Basically, you can get wraps with chicken, and you can get like chicken bowls, like with mac and cheese, or like mashed potatoes and stuff like that, but generally it isn't all that healthy for you. Then we also have a sub place, and we have Jamba Juice. I've never gone to a Jamba Juice, so I don't know much about that. I can't really speak for it, but it is generally more nutritious than the rest of the stuff there. So we have Falcon Dollars, which basically pays for fast food, and we have Swipes, which basically pays for just kind of like a buffet style of whatever food that they're serving that day. Which sometimes it makes it kind of hard to fulfill that like nutrition palette that I just kind of laid out for you. So I would suggest like keeping like I have a multivitamin that I usually take. I've been kind of bad about it lately, but I usually take a multivitamin, and I usually have a protein shake because I know I'm not getting enough protein here because they really don't serve protein that much. I had chicken last night and it was actually pretty good, but they don't generally have lots of protein. So that's kind of a struggle. There isn't really balanced meals served on campus, so you have to be careful about that. Thirdly, don't DoorDash. Anyway, don't DoorDash, number one, because it's going to save you money and you're on campus, and if you don't have a job, then you don't have disposable income, so you should not be spending like that. And two, it's not healthy. Generally, the things that you can DoorDash are not healthy. Stuff like, I don't know, Wendy's, McDonald's, Panera to an extent is healthier, but don't kid yourself, it's not that healthy. Chipotle is, it's not a bad option, but I would not eat that every day. And DoorDash gets expensive sometimes. I would know. I DoorDashed a lot last year. Thankfully, I didn't exceed my calorie intake. I didn't exceed the amount of calories I burn in my intake, so I didn't really gain all that much weight. I don't usually gain weight anyway. I usually undereat a lot because of my metabolism, but DoorDash makes you waste a lot of money, is what I'm saying. Just don't do it. Anyway, that's most of what I have for you. Feeding yourself is really difficult. Next year, I'm going to start meal prepping because I'm going to be living off campus, and I'm going to have access to a kitchen constantly, and I'm probably going to take, Saturday, Sunday, and then like cook everything, and then portion it out, and then just microwave it when I need it. That way I know I'm getting the correct balanced meal. But I know in your dorm it's really difficult to do. Getting snacks is just convenient and they taste good, so like why not? But you're better off if you just figure out how to eat right now, because it's going to be even harder when you have to start buying your own groceries, which I'm going to have to do next year. So I'll tell you how that goes when I cross that bridge. But yeah, eating right is very important, so make sure you stay on top of it. And as the semester goes on, it's going to get harder, so you have to really pay attention to it and not get lazy about it, because your body, you only have one body, okay, for the rest of your life, and you want to take care of it, okay? That means eating correctly, exercising, drinking water, that sort of thing. Alright, just went on a rant about food. That's all I have for you today. If I'm not really an expert on this, your campus probably has a nutritionist, so if you are really struggling, you can go to them and they will help you out. I personally haven't visited my nutritionist on campus because I haven't had as much trouble as I did last year. But if you're having trouble, go to them. They'll help you out. They're a professional. They know what they're doing. And I'll see you in the next video.